Welcome to the Neurodivergent Experience podcast, a podcast where we share the lived experiences of neurodivergent people to help create a better understanding for our community.
Join us every week as we bring you honest, raw, and inspiring conversations with specialists, advocates, and individuals who know exactly what it's like to live the neurodivergent experience.
I'm Jordan James, a neurodivergent specialist, father of neurodivergent children, husband to a neurodivergent wife, and author of the Autistic Experience, and I'm joined by my best friend.
I'm Simon Scott. I'm an autistic ADHD broadcaster, actor, and advocate. Join us as we journey into unravelling the neurodivergent experience.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, the time of day that you listeners are listening. How are you? that's how I'm going to start every episode now. How are you?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night. Yeah, why not? Do you know what, my friend? I am pretty good. I'm looking forward to covering this topic today because I feel like the last time we covered it, I did not actually indulge in a lot of stuff, so it'll be an interesting one. But I am good, my friend. I am good. I feel like I am the picture of health as I can be at the minute, even though there is a lot going on and life is stressful and deadlines are deadlining. I feel like I'm navigating it really well. It's amazing how much things can improve when you write your to-do list down.
Yeah, dude. Like literally, as you know, my bath is finished, my bathroom.
You may have heard it being finished in the last episode.
Yes, my Zen space is now finished, and all the beautiful rainforesty plants are up in my very, very modern looking spa bathroom. It is everything I ever dreamed of. It is the ultimate chill out space. I've already had 2 multiple relaxing baths, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's working. It's exactly what I wanted. And I just listen to my music or rain sounds, and I don't know where I was going with this. I was doing something. What were we talking about?
It's that Zen, you've forgotten where you are.
So relaxed. It's unbelievable. While I'm doing this, suddenly I'm having my brain's just working. No ADHD meds, because I'm so relaxed and so mentally healthy. My brain is just working, and I'm having all these really cool ideas of things that I want to do. And instead of like those ideas all culminating in just noise, and I can't differentiate between the ideas, they're just coming. That's like, there's one idea. Oh, okay, cool. And there's another idea. Oh, that's really cool. And as soon as I get out of the bath, I'm just writing them down. And I've just got this list of like really great ideas of just like things that I would like to do, even if it's like, I want to talk to that person, or I need to do this, or I want to make a post. I made a post today about autism while in the bath, just chilling out.
It's simple things, isn't it? It's crazy how it can really regulate you. Like being in water for me really, really helps. I love the sensory feeling of being in water. It really calms my mind, but I don't do it enough. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really should have more baths and sit and soak and just listen to a podcast and sit back and relax, because it does really help my brain. But I'm really pleased that it's had that effect on you, man. Like, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it for like, if people want to talk about like self-medication, self-care for autistic people. For me personally, it has negated so many of the negatives of being autistic. It's solidly diminished them significantly. So I'm barely having any meltdowns, and I'm not great, and that's not down to the medication, because I only take it sporadically now when I work. I'm just in a better place. And I'm finding myself being able to concentrate more on things and just focus. And honestly, anyone out there who's really, really struggling being neurodivergent, I just highly recommend just therapy or meditation or mindfulness or just relaxation. And you'd be surprised. I think you really would.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I have always really struggled with is like, because I've got such long vision, like I am such an end in mind person, but I do have bottom up processing. I find I can see my to-do list and it really, really overwhelms me. And I've just changed it slightly in I have my to-do list, but I also have my completed list right next to it. And I go, oh, I've done that and I've done that and I've done that. That's achievable. That's manageable. And I only write down what I have to do that day. And do you know what? Yesterday, dude, I had the day off from work and I looked at my to-do list of all the things that, you know, being freelance, like work never ends. There's always something you can do. And yesterday I went, no, I've managed everything. I don't have to do anything today if I don't want to. And I feel so good for just having a day off yesterday. I played video games. I watched YouTube videos. I went for a walk and met Karis at work and got a full fat bottle of Coke at her work, walked back, spoke to my mum on the phone, watched football, and that is it. And I feel great today. I feel like I've woken up. I'm really recharged. I've not got a thick head and I'm just ready to crack on. It's amazing what just little implementations of managing your stress. Once you figure it out, what works for you, my God, does it work for you? It's just trying to be consistent, isn't it? Is the difficult thing.
Yeah, it's like when you're running and you find that zone.
You hit that stride, that rhythm.
Yeah. And you're just like, you know what, my breathing's right and I said the rhythm is right and my feet are hitting the pavement correctly and everything. But I feel like in life, I am cycling downhill and I'm letting the bike do the work. Like I am just in
take the wheel.
I'm just in that space. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that, I haven't had any stress or I've had it easy. You know, my life hasn't changed at all. It's just as stressful. It's just as anger inducing and people still can't drive and, you know, and I still have to go to work and I still have kids, you know, that are ADHD autistic and test my absolute limits. And I just had a bathroom redone, but it's just like water off a duck's back. I'm just like, you know, life is life and you just move through it, I guess. And sometimes it's a bit like custard and sometimes it's a bit like water and sometimes it's a bit like air. And you just have to keep moving. Yep. But you were talking about lists. Let's get on to the subject. What is today's subject?
Shiny things. Shiny, shiny. Oh, look at them shine. You described it better than I could just there. But the things that we're talking about today is why we buy things, why we collect things. What is the calming safety that comes from the familiarity of having things or owning things? If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, if you've not subscribed, please do. That'd be very, very helpful. But you'll notice just over Jordan's shoulder, there are 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles staring at us today. Normally there is our great ape, the neurodivergent great ape that sits up there. But today, is that Michelangelo and Leonardo? Are they joining us as guests today?
My two favourite turtles. I can't say the best turtles because they've all got their own thing going on and they're all awesome.
Oh yeah, we're not judging the turtles today.
Definitely not. So essentially, I just want we've talked about it before. So I made a list at the beginning of this year where I said, look, I'm not going to buy trainers. I'm not going to buy T-shirts. I'm not going to buy hoodies. I'm not going to buy cuddly toys. I have a list, right? Because I don't need any of these things, okay? I've got an abundance of them, okay? I don't need any of these things, especially trainers.
You have a lot of trainers.
The only proviso for the trainers was that the Tatum 3s come out in a different colorway, which they did. And that was on the list. It said that on the list. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow the.
Yeah,
so it's like helping with the ADHD, but it's like such an autistic way of looking at things. If it's not on the list, it doesn't happen. So it's like, you know, I was really hoping that the autistic, I obviously I don't like separating them into different brains, but it's fun to do so every now and again. So the autistic side of my brain, so which side is that, by the way? Is that like the left or right? I'm going to go left. Autistic is left.
I think of them as like right. Martin Prince and Ralph Wiggum. Like they're the autism ADHD, sort of how I view them in my head.
I look at them more like Lisa and Bart as autism and ADHD.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But anyway, however you view it in your head, with Homer, it's just a monkey just going dinky, 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 dinky. The autistic side of me is like, okay, I've got a list now, so I'm definitely not going to do these things. And then the ADHD comes along and goes, you're going to buy all things turtles. Dude, there's no reason behind it. All I can think of is in my brain, I saw a turtle in real life. And then that was it. And then I went, what is the other thing that's the best thing in the world that's turtles? And I was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, in all honesty, I've always been a huge fan of them. I've got all the original figurines. They re-released them because obviously my evil bitch of a mother chucked them all away, and my originals. But I replaced them, the re-released originals, and I've got them on display in my bedroom. That's how much I love them. And LaMelo Ball. No one knows who that is if they're listening. If you do know who that is, you're cool, just like me. He is a basketball player who's very, very different. Like his style is completely different. And so many basketball like purists are just like, oh, his style is just, it's non-conformist. And I'm just like, I love the way he just does stuff that makes absolutely zero sense. Most of the time he's just chucking the ball up in the air. And I swear it's just prayer that gets it in. He's just making wishes. It's just the most ridiculous thing to watch, but he is so fun. And he's got wacky hair and he's got loads of cool tattoos. And he's just very, very cool. And I like him a lot.
Big personality.
This is how wacky and cool he is. He literally released an entire collection of LaMelo Ball meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles outfits. Like, T-shirts, hoodies, shorts. And yes, flipping trainers. And they are so cool. Okay, so I have bought a pair. One of them is orange, and it's a little R on it for Raphael, and the other one is blue for Leonardo. And they're LaMelo Ball, and they say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the back, and they're so cool. Just if you're listening, Google it, have a look at them. They're very cool. If you are 7. But I am 44, and I'm proud of this, by the way. I'm coming up to 44 this year, and I am just as young in my brain as I was when I was a child. And I first ever set my beady little eyes 6 years old. 1987, the cartoon came out, and I was 6 years old, and I watched it, and I just was obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I love them, and I have always loved them. And now, because I can't just go, and this is what I want to talk about. So I can't just go, okay, I'm going to buy the trainers. And then it's almost like in order to justify buying the trainers, I need to buy 2 plushies to go next to my trainers. So I bought a Leonardo and a Michelangelo plushie. As you can see, if you're watching this video, if you're not, go and watch it. It's hilarious. I had to buy them too. Then I'm like, well, if I'm going to wear those trainers, I need a T-shirt to go with them.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't want to buy the LaMelo Ball £35 T-shirt. That was mental. So I just went on Vinted and I bought a secondhand Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like slightly faded, but deliberately faded. It looks like an adult should wear it in my brain.
Right.
I was like, that looks smart and adult. I could wear that to Miller and Carter.
And I will.
I will wear that to Miller and Carter. So I bought that, £7. It's fine. These 2 plushies are only £6 each. I'm the trainers.
That's all right. It's justifiable, fine. Isn't it?
Right. It's fine. I mean, the trainers were over £100, so that's a little bit less justifiable. But I have, and I think this is the problem. I do have spare money, especially I've gone over this before. I've got a very good job. My kids, pretty dependent themselves, and my son's got a job. My daughter's going to be working. I have money, and I am very, very good with my money. I don't go to pubs. I don't drink, and it's not like, oh, I'm high and mighty. I just don't want to spend my money on that.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, for me, I'd rather have a can of Lilt than a beer, because
or like a blue Fanta feels like way better for me than. Yeah, I mean, I like a Guinness, but that's it. Yeah, I'll have like 2, and I'm like, I clock out. I don't need 10.
I will go out and have a meal and a pint. but I'm not going to go out and just drink loads. And I don't smoke, so I don't spend money on that. And I don't gamble, so I don't spend any money on that. I don't really spend a lot of money on things until my brain goes, right, okay, so you like this turtle thing, then you need to buy this turtle thing. And then you need to buy this turtle thing. And then now I've started watching the entire 1987 series again, for God knows how many times, on Paramount. So I'm watching the Turtles, and I want to understand it. Like I kind of go with it. I don't want to fight it because that makes me miserable. So I'm kind of like, as long as it's not, putting me into debt and, they're going to repo my house, it's fine. If it just means that I've got a couple of plushies and an extra pair of trainers, it's fine. But it does ruin people's lives. It does put people into debt. It does screw people over, and we need to delve into this. Like, what's going on? What is happening?
It is unusual.
So what's your latest one?
So I am, one of the things that I find so fascinating is, in this journey that I've had, especially through this podcast, and I'm sure listeners will agree, I am still, in an unmasking phase. And in the first episode that we did on this, I was like, oh, I don't really buy anything. I had a period where I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then I almost talked myself out of it because I could see how much money I was spending, and reality kicked in and it just kind of disappears. As you go, oh shit, I'm actually spending a lot of money on that and I'm not getting what I want from it. And then I feel like I'm misusing the money. And then suddenly I just feel the need or the want. It just completely fizzles, and it doesn't fizzle away in, oh, I stopped buying the cards. I stopped watching YouTube videos on the cards. I stopped going to the events where the cards are. I stopped going to the shops where the cards are. It's like I completely forget it exists altogether, and it will just get replaced by something else. I have been really, really good with money for like the past 18 months. It's one of the things that I've really tried to get good at and commit to as a life skill. I've read books and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've even watched TED Talks and stuff. I'm quite proud of this. For the past 16 months in a row, I have spent less than I earned every month.
I was going to say that's wonderful, but that's kind of what you should be doing. That's right? Normal.
Yeah, but that's just kind of how I've tried to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've struggled with that when I was younger. It's only now in my 40s that I'm doing the same.
Yeah, because I'm not drinking anymore, and I'm not going out and fake socializing. I'm not going out and just masking and trying to fit in anywhere. I'm just doing what I want to do. And I'm not spending anywhere as much money as I used to because I'm kind of just doing my own thing. But one of the things that I have liked about that is when I was finding special interests, I'd see the price of things and go, I can't afford that. And my brain would just go, don't entertain it. We aren't going down that route. Dangerous route. No, danger. Red flag, red flag. And now that I've got money in savings and I've got excess cash because I've been really good with it, even though I've put money aside for this move and for the house and everything, I am now looking at stuff, relatively expensive stuff, and going, I can buy that and not feel it. I'm not going to, there's no repercussion to buying that. If I buy it and I don't use it, it's not the end of the world, which is kind of like the freedom feeling for me. So I bought, hear me out, listeners, a £300 microscopic laser for golf.
I can't say anything. I mean, I spent about £5,000 on my camera, right? And the equipment.
Exactly, right? So you literally point this at the hole and you press the thing and it fires a laser at it and it tells you how far the flag away is and the wind speed and everything. It's like a sniper scope for golfers. Yeah. And it took me a year to buy this. I've had the money for a year, but it took me a year to go, do you know what? You can have it. And then as soon as I bought it, I went, but it needs a nice case. And it needs a magnetic strip so that it can go on my bag. And then suddenly I'm buying all the accessories for it. And it's like my new little special purchase. And on the back of that, I was like, do you know what? I like that T-shirt that I bought in America because I wear it all the time. Now I'm going to buy it in multiple different versions. And it's very, very nice having the freedom to kind of buy this shiny stuff. It makes me feel really good. Just going, do you know what? I really want that. And I covet things. It's not like I go, oh, that thing, I'll buy it. I'll just see it and I buy it. It's not like it kind of just appears in my mind. I covet stuff for ages and ages and ages. I'll have stuff in my car for months and months and months, and I'll go back to it and I'll look at it and I'll go, no, I'm fine. And then randomly, it's like I just get this sort of feeling of going, okay, and go. And then suddenly I will buy not just a pair of shoes that are in my car. I'll buy 3 pairs of shoes, and I won't just buy a t-shirt. I'll buy 5 t-shirts. And it's like it all just seems to happen at once. But I've managed to be able to get my money in a way where I can kind of control it. But I have absolutely no idea what causes it. It's like I watched a YouTube video the other day, and now suddenly I'm watching things about Jurassic Park. I'm not even that bothered about Jurassic Park, but it's the only thing I'm watching it on YouTube at the minute.
Oh,
just like videos about dinosaurs and all the 3D models and paleontologists going, this isn't accurate. Let me rate it out of 10 of accuracy.
Dude. It's so there is the whole ADHD thing of, it's the dopamine fix. Okay. It's the need for that constant dopamine, that constant entertainment, that constant, it feels good. Okay. It feels good. It's not always good for your bank balance, but it feels good. And especially with the convenience and ease of getting things online, it's like having a little Christmas every day.
Amazon's dangerous.
You're just like, oh yeah, I can just order that and I can order that and I get to open it like it's a Christmas present. And it's very much speaks to, even if it's something really sensible, like, some tools or something like that, or a paintbrush. I'm trying to think of really boring shit that only Sylvia would buy. And she is boring. Let's be very clear. I'm the only thing fun about her. And
she listens to this show, right?
Nah, she's boring. Wouldn't do that.
Right, she's not one of the cool ones. Not one of you cool kids.
Yeah, one of you cool people who are listening. But it doesn't matter what it is that you buy. It's fun to open things. It's fun to tear the
Christmas
box
Day,
open,
right?
and it is. Yeah, especially if you buy something and then you forget that you buy, or you buy so many things and you don't know which one it is. This definitely has never happened to me.
That's one of the things that I like about the multiple purchase things. It's like when I bought a pair of trainers, I was like, oh, those ones that I liked 6 months ago are now in the sale. It's £50 off. It'd be rude not to buy it. And then before you know it, I'm waiting for shoe boxes and I'm like, which one are you? Which one are you?
I love being thrifty. I would go out of my way to save a £5. I just love it. I love getting a bargain. So bargain hunting is also part of that dopamine fix. It's part of that feeling like you've won. You're not the winner.
You feel like you beat the system, don't you? It's like you go, it's like last night I ordered a takeaway and it was like 2 for 1 on all of my favorite things. So I was just like, I text Carison, was like, babe, I went, you've got a whole meal when you get home. I says, because I've got all the deals. And it wasn't even things that I would have ordered, but because it was 2 for 1, I went, oh, sod it, I'm getting it. I feel like I'm cheating the system.
So what I want to delve into is not so much, I want to buy new things. Like I said, we pretty sure we know why. It's the way that as soon as we get into a subject, as soon as we, set our hyper-focused little beady eyes on something, we then just avalanche into, we have to know everything about that. We need to watch it. We need to wear it. We need to buy it. We need to sleep in it.
It's literally like absorbing it like the blob and just dissolving it into yourself. It's weird, isn't it?
Dude, if I could, I would have Jordan bed sheets, Jordan pillow. I'd have a giant Jordan sticker on my car. I've I've got a Jordan tattoo, for fuck's sake.
You changed your name to Jordan.
I changed my name to Jordan. I didn't change my name to Jordan because of... No, I'm just lying to myself. I did. I just went, I love that name. I love Michael Jordan and I love Jordan trainers. And
it just kind of worked, right?
Now my name is Jordan. So I am the shining example of... I don't feel like it's taking things too far, but some might. I want to say taking things too far, but I feel like on top of the world. Like changing my name was like the best thing ever. I love my tattoo.
It's one of the best things you've ever done, right?
Yeah. But it's like I own. Okay, so this is when you do things, and it's like, okay, well, that was a huge life decision that really, really changed things. It's like buying a dog It's like I just got obsessed with I had to have a big dog. Like I had to have a big dog, and I couldn't let it go. I could not let it go. I had to have a big dog. I had to have a big dog. And now I have a big dog, and I've had a big dog, and he's cost me thousands of pounds because he is so flipping accident prone.
Yeah, he's very accident prone.
Like he's had 3 different surgeries just from existing. And like he's just so and that's not an exaggeration. He had a hip surgery when he was little because he hurt his hip, and that broke because he was a puppy and he's mental, just crashing into things. Then he had a hernia that needed netting put into it.
Oh gosh,
I know. And then he had a cyst on his back that burst and wouldn't stop bleeding, and he needed emergency surgery on this cyst. And I'm like, dude, seriously, he's just a nightmare. I love him so much. And it just stemmed from the fact that when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Dulux dog, the old English sheepdogs.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
So I had cuddly toys. I had slippers. I had the bed sheets and the pillow, and I had photos, but I wasn't allowed one because we had Samoyeds, the ugliest, most evil dog ever. No, it's not. They're absolutely flipping gorgeous. I love Samoyeds, but it wasn't the Dulux dog. And I was just obsessed with that dog. So I got one, but he's part poodle, part old English sheepdog. So he's a sheepadoodle. But that's why, because that obsession, despite the fact that it's when I was a kid, it just stays with me. And it's like basketball. It's that obsession. It just stays and it won't go away. So when I get into basketball, I now own 30 jerseys. Like, dude.
Yeah, it's wild. Really,
17 to 18 basketball hoodies, countless basketball t-shirts. I probably can count them, but yeah, the uncountable, I've decided. There's so many of them. I'll never be able to do it. And loads and loads of basketball trainers. For Christmas, I bought every single person in my household a pair of basketball trainers and made them all go and play. But I've got 8 basketballs. Why? I don't need 8 basketballs. I only need one. Weirdly enough, I just need one basketball. 8 basketballs, and it's just like, what is going on? Why do I feel the need to own so many things associated with the thing that I like? And it could even be, I like this thing today, or that thing reminds me of when I was a kid and it's nostalgic. And therefore, instead of just going, oh, do you know what?
Nostalgia was what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'll just buy a cuddly toy. I'm like, nope, I'll buy a cuddly toy. I'll buy a video game. I mean, I was literally, I put the Turtles Shredder's Revenge video game on my wish list on my Switch. I haven't bought it yet. I'm getting around to that.
It's so strange,
it's just,
isn't it?
why?
How it just becomes like, it's not like it's all consuming, but it almost becomes like you almost level up, don't you, in your special interests? You're like, oh, I'll get that one thing and we'll see how that goes. It's almost like throwing a bit of bait in a pond and you get a little nibble. The next thing you know, it's like, right, I need to get 1,000 rods in this lake and catch everything that's in there. Absolutely everything. It's like, I know people that buy multiple golf clubs. It's like every year they're buying the newest one. I used to live with a guy at uni who used to buy the new iPhone, used to queue up for it. And I was always kind of the school of thought of going, well, I've got one. I don't need more than one. It kind of doesn't serve me. And then there is just certain things where I give myself an allowance. And as soon as it's like I take a mile. I can't help myself, but it feels so good. It is such a dopamine hit. It's literally like an injection in my veins. It's like I love American football. I've loved American football for years and years and years. Told myself, oh, the jerseys, they're so expensive. £80, £90, £100. When am I ever going to wear that? You know, when am I going to put that on? And I went on Fanatics the other day, saw a couple of them were in the sale. I bought them all.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much. But it is crazy, isn't it? How I almost like justify why I can't have something. And then as soon as I either get past this wall or have this allowance of going, no, come on, Si, you can treat yourself. It then becomes a resistance in the opposite direction. It's like you've been riding uphill, and as soon as you get to the top, you're like, right, okay, you've earned it. You're allowed this thing. You've earned it. And then suddenly I start going downhill, and I'm like, well, if I've earned that, then have I earned this as well, and this as well, and this as well? And then I just snowball, and before you know it, it becomes all-consuming. Like, why am I watching videos of dinosaurs again? I haven't watched videos of dinosaurs since I was a kid. And now I've watched all the 3 Jurassic Park films in like the past 4 days. Like,
dude, I think I just figured it out.
What, that I'm autistic?
No. Why we just go so far with it?
Oh, can I leave the listeners on a break and we'll come back with your great reveal?
I figured it out.
This episode of the Neurodivergent Experience is brought to you by RTN Mental Health Solutions. With up to a 5-year waiting list for autism and ADHD assessments via the NHS, and that's even if you get a referral from your GP, getting an assessment in the UK has never been harder. So if you're like me and can't wait anymore, going private may be the best option for you. RTN offers online assessments for kids aged 6 right up to adults, with prices starting at £900. To make it more accessible, RTN can offer payment plans up to 5 months. You can access their remote services from the comfort of your home anywhere in the UK, and RTN offers group and one-to-one counselling, a private route to access ADHD medication following the assessment, and will even fight for you if your GP doesn't accept the results. So if you live in the UK and can't wait to get an assessment, go to www.rtnmentalhealthsolutions.com and use the discount code RTN23, making it even more affordable for all of our listeners to get an autism and ADHD assessment.
You are listening to the Neurodivergent Experience with Simon, Scott and Jordan James, and we're about to have the big reveal. Why do we buy all the things?
No, I forgot now. It was too long of a break. No, it's
you're
gone.
joking.
No, not really.
All right, thank God for that.
I didn't ADHD it. Dude, seriously, when you're a kid and you're really into something, it's really Pogs. Am I showing my age? Pogs or garbage pail kids, micro machines. I'm definitely showing my age right now.
I feel like you're describing all the old Cartoon Network adverts. I'm like, oh, wow. I feel like I'm up late watching Cow and Chicken again. This is great.
But imagine you're a kid and you're like, okay, the new Mario game is out. And you go, oh, I want that new Mario game. And you got parents who are sensible or tight. Could be both. And they're like, no, you've already got a Mario game. And you're like, no, I need the other Mario game. And to go alongside my Mario game, because I'm a child, I need a Mario cuddly toy. And I also need a Mario hat and this is why they sell merchandise, because people want to buy it. They're not out there with Mario t-shirts and Mario shorts and Mario shoes and slippers. Those things exist because people want to buy them. Okay. So it's not like we're inventing them in our head and thinking, oh, I'd love a pair of Mario Cities.
It's the need of the consumer, right? That's what we want.
Exactly. You're a child and you go, well, I want an entire Mario outfit. I want to look like Mario now.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So you get the game and then you want everything else. But sensible parents, or parents on a budget can't always just give their kids everything they want, despite the fact their kids want it, and they might want to give their kids everything they want, but maybe they can't. Maybe they go, okay, you can have it for Christmas, or you can have it for your birthday, or you can have it if you get good grades, here's a reward. But now we're adults, and now we have money, or if you don't, you can get a credit card, and you don't have to wait
you don't want
for that special occasion, or you don't have to answer to anyone. I mean, apart from my
it's
wife.
A little bit like the moment in Home Alone when Kevin realizes he's on his own, right? And he's like, oh, ice cream for breakfast. I can do whatever
I like. And that's it. I've literally, the reason we do this is because we can. And we have the literal mindset that we had when we were little. And I think it stays with us even more, especially like the more we're denied something. And I think this is just human nature. Like, forget autism, whatever. This is human nature. The more we are denied the thing we want, the more we
covet it, right?
want it.
We covet it.
God, yeah. Like so much. And I think the psyche behind that of like, well, I actually can have this. And so, yeah, I'm going to have everything turtles, or I'm going to have 35 jerseys because I can.
It's like no repercussion, is there? There's nobody going,
exactly.
You really want that? Is that not a waste of your money?
I mean, people Sylvia take you exists.
Serious? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have other halves that remind us very often why we need these things, but yeah.
She is the killjoy to my life. She's the bane to my childish existence. This is two boys
that are going, yes, well, we occasionally need mothering and reminding that we shouldn't do these things. But still, I totally agree in that, I think about, it's like, I know there's something coming on the horizon, right? This is one of the things that I'm finding about turning 30. And I'm sure you experience this as well with like when you're talking about like boglins and things like that.
I don't have any boglins.
No comment, Your Honor.
Dude, I would have 17 boglins.
But this is what I mean, right? Is all of the things that you wanted as a kid disappeared. They went out of the shops. You couldn't get them for a while, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they come back.
Oh,
when you've got adult money.
90s nostalgia.
What's happening
everywhere.
Now, dude, is 2000s nostalgia is starting to hit the market.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, dude. All of the football boots that my parents wouldn't let me have when I was a kid are all getting revamped into trainers.
Oh, you're joking. So
I'm fucked.
Adidas...
The Total 90 T3s are coming back. Climacool, Timegeist, all the football kits from the 2000s.
Am I thinking when I'm a kid? What was the one that I think Lionel Messi? I think they're Adidas.
Well, like Predators?
Adidas Predators.
Dude, Predators, they've remodeled the Predators. They're bringing them out as trainers now. Like the Total 90s.
Don't tell me that.
Mate, the Total 90s that Rooney wore in the Euros are getting turned into trainers. They come out in 2 days. I've got the notification on my credit card. Mwah, ready to go.
Yeah, no, I got the same when I bought my Shaquille O'Neal specified Reebok pumps. Like I could not have those. Like literally, they're on the top of my shelf. I love them. I worship them.
The next Liverpool kit, dude, is going to be like the Gerrard kit with the floppy collar.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these sorts of things, all of the things that I liked as a kid, all of the things that I liked as a kid are now getting revamped for adults. It's like I'm hitting that sort of period where it's like, oh, you've got money now. Let's bring back all the shit you like and take all your money off you.
Do you know what? It doesn't matter how intelligent we are. We are slaves to the
slaves to the machine.
To the shop. We are slaves to the creators of these things. Like they're more. I've got an IQ of 162, and people who sell stuff are smarter than me because they're getting me to buy it. Advertising people are officially the smartest people in the world. I've decided because they are literally taking my money, and I can't do anything about it.
Nothing you can do. It's like one of the things that I'm finding I'm doing now is because I've been doing a lot of this like internal like consciousness work with Ashley, and like we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, the inner child. Oh, I'm so there. I'm so building a relationship with my inner child now, and I love it. Yeah. Love it. I've never felt more whole as a person. I feel like I'm connecting all these different ages of myself. But dude, all of the albums that I used to listen to when I was like 16 are all hitting 15, 20-year anniversaries. And they're getting all reprints in vinyls and all the limited edition. And I'm like, oh no, I'm in danger. Because all of the music that I love is now becoming reprinted in physical. It's like, imagine like you go on YouTube, you see all these guys with huge rows of VHSs. It's like, if suddenly you could get those again, you probably would. And that's kind of where I feel like I am now with shiny stuff. I'm like, oh shit, all the things I wanted as a kid, a whole wall of VHSs, a whole wall of all of your music, and you can just be like, oh, pick that out there, pick that out. I can have this there. I can feel, I can feel it starting. It's creeping under my skin. I was like, as soon as all of these albums come out, I'm in danger, dude, financially. Because I want them. I want to have them because I couldn't have them because I didn't have any money when I was a kid.
Well, it's why I love Spotify, because I'm just,
I
remember like being obsessed, like going on the PC and just like, making like huge lists and then like, burning CDs and like having that. But then it's like Spotify. It's just like, I got into Imagine Dragons and then I just listened to every single Imagine Dragons song.
I love Spotify for that.
And then I got into Five Finger Death Punch, and God,
cool.
I can't stop listening to Five Finger Death Punch. They are so cool.
Oh, if you like those, dude, I'll send you a few more bands you might like.
Oh, sweet. And I love that. And the fact that like I listened to Blink 182 solidly for a month after you sent me that playlist. And it is that. And it's so, and the thing about that is it's all on your phone and it's very convenient.
Accessible,
the thing
dude.
About my Turtles obsession is it's very much taking over my house. So I think at the end of the day, it's the psychology to it is the same. It's just, I'm just really, really into this thing and I just want everything to do with it. It's why people go to concerts and then they buy the merchandise and they listen to the music.
I do that so
and then they have, and this is so much more of a young person's thing, and they'll have posters on their wall. I mean, I had posters of basketball players. I had posters of football players.
I still have posters. I've got a Blink 182 poster on my wall that I got from the Amsterdam show we went to. It's the girl with the pearl earring, but it's like a Blink album of the girl with the pearl earring. It's one of my most coveted possessions.
Yeah. And
I love it.
I don't know if I can call it a neurodivergent trait, because I'll be honest, I'm a neurodivergent specialist, but I'm not a neurotypical specialist. I don't know enough. It's weird. I don't know enough about neurotypicals to say, oh, neurotypicals don't do this, because I absolutely believe that they do. But I believe that it's like everything when it comes to being neurodivergent. We always take things a little bit further. We are what I will describe, and this is a very popular word at the moment, we are extra. We are extra.
Like XX, extra.
XXXX, yeah. We're triple X. That's what we are, right? We're all over the place. And that is with everything: sight, sounds, textures, flavors, smells, everything, emotions, and nostalgia, and the need to make yourself happy, because that's what it does. It's
self-soothing is what it is.
It makes you happy. I mean, it makes you happy in that moment. Because I bought I bought Mario Party, and I played Mario Party, the new Mario Party, and I love it.
Awesome game.
Absolutely love it. Okay, everyone in the household loves it. But I bought some T-shirts, and I bought the Mario movie to watch multiple times in case it comes off any platform.
I think I've watched that like 10 times.
Oh
now,
God, yes.
More.
And then I went, and you might have seen them if you watch the YouTube channel. They kind of pop up on my microphone here. I bought just a whole load of Mario cuddly toys, and then I had a Mario Kart themed birthday party, and people bought me more Mario stuff, and I had like, a Mario cake, and and it was just Mario everywhere. And that was what I wanted then. And it was just, everything was Mario. Now I'm just like, oh, I like Mario, but it's not like that. Now it's Turtles.
It's not obsessive. Yeah. What do you think is the cause of that? Why does it suddenly stop? Because I do feel it. It's almost like I feel the high walk away. It's like, it's like I almost like develop a tolerance for it. It's like it just doesn't hit me like it used to. And then suddenly I see something else and it gives me a different feeling. Like, what do you think?
I think it's because there are different types of autistics. Okay. And I'm not talking about levels or functioning or Asperger's and autism. I don't like any of that. People are we're just people, right? And we're all different. But there's a different types of autistics. There's and I look at it like the main two that I will see being, who I'm friends with, are the type of autistic that will just stick with one or two, maybe three things. They're all roughly around the same subject, and they will just know everything, like just everything. And I'll give you an example of my friend Alex. He's into Star Wars, he knows everything about Star Wars, but that means he's into science fiction. And even though it's not his favorite thing, he knows everything about Star Trek, and he knows everything about aliens, and he knows everything you can think of about sci-fi. But Star Wars is like his. If it was Mastermind, he'd win it. Like it wouldn't even be a challenge. It would be like Bill Gates talking about coding. It would be the easiest thing in the world for him to do. He's really obsessed with guns. And I don't mean he has guns and he goes around shooting. He just likes to know about guns. And he'll play a game and he'll go, that's inaccurate because that part of that gun doesn't actually belong on that part. And I'm just like, well, I liked shooting the Nazi in the brain. And that in Sniper Elite, that was just super fun. He was like, yeah, but it's slightly inaccurate because that particular suppressor wouldn't be on.
I've known people like that too.
And I don't get bored of that. A lot of people are just like, oh God, you're annoying. I'm just fascinated. I'm so fascinated by how his brain works. But as much as I kind of envy it in the way that I'd be like, I'd love to know that much about something, I don't envy it because I find it is boring. To just know everything about only a few things, I'm just like, that's not somebody I particularly want to talk to at a party. Like I don't, unless I'm in, because I love Star Wars and I love Star Trek and I love sci-fi and I like listening. And he knows so much about history, especially like wars, a wartime history, and the same as you, but like another level. And he's. I call him Alexa because I can just ask him questions.
Hey Alexa, what planet was this? Did this happen? And I go, oh, the Battle of Naboo. Well, actually, politically, this happened with the Trade Federation. And then that's it. He's off.
Oh, dude, he would just know every answer.
I love people like that because conversationally they're interesting. But after an hour, you're like, let's talk about something else.
As long as you're interested in the subject. But that's the thing is that I like so many different things. But because I like so many different things, especially so many different things when I was a kid, that when those things start popping up again as an adult, then my interest will change. It will go, okay, I really like that thing. Oh, but now I remembered I really like that thing. And it kind of just sort of, it's like a little nudge of like, do you remember? It's the member berries. That's what it is. It's member berries from South Wales. It's member. Oh, dude,
Chewbacca, member. Yeah, exactly.
When I got into South Park, I now have like just an entire shelf dedicated to South Park stuff. And I got South Park, but then South Park's always been like probably the thing
you've always loved it,
that I've been most into my entire life. Well, I say my entire life, since it came out. South Park has always been at the sort of top of my list of like things that I absolutely love. And obviously basketball, and that faded and became football. And now football's out the window because it sucks shit. Sorry, everybody, but it does. It's so freaking boring. I can't watch it now.
Unless you're a Liverpool fan.
Then it double sucks shit because you're a Liverpool fan. See, still got that. I've still got that Chelsea rivalry thing going. But now it's just like, it's basketball is the best thing ever, and it's just it is. Yeah, I think I explained that pretty well. I think I figured it out.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and it was also
smart, aren't I?
Oh yeah, but one of the things that makes me think about as well is like when with Karis, when Karis develops a new special interest, I have to fight buying her the things. You know, when you were talking about basketball trainers, I'm such a pebble giver. It's like as soon as she's like, oh, I'm really into this. Like at the moment with the house.
Just something.
Well,
I'm into houses.
I'm trying. But like, because she's really getting into the idea of, putting stuff in the house and filling it. The other day, I saw a cushion that she would like and it said, live, laugh, fuck off. And I was like, right, that's going in the house. And that's good. Because she loves stuff like that. And I get a lot of love out of seeing her happy. Like if I go downstairs and get the post and she go, what's that? And I go, I don't know. It's for you. Like the look on her face gives me such a huge dopamine hit that I then have to be like, well, what else do you want? And I have to stop myself because I can really spend money on that girl. But that's just kind of what I'm like, is like I bought a pair of sunglasses and I was like, I can't have a pair of Ray-Bans if you haven't got a pair of Ray-Bans. So you get a pair. She's like, I don't need a pair. And I was like, you do. Get a pair. And that's just kind of what I have to stop myself. I can't help it. It's like if I have something, I feel like she needs to have something because I'm a pebble giver. That's just the sort of love language I have.
I feel the same, especially because I've got kids as well. Like,
God, if I have kids, I'm fucked.
when my kids were growing up, especially my son, like he would have all the toys that I wanted. Like, so I'll be like, oh, I really want Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels look really, really cool.
Hot Wheels are really cool, dude. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
So I bought him like a whole load of Hot Wheels and track and everything. And he really didn't like it. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll have to put it all together and then play with it. It wasn't deliberate. I thought he'd like it, but he just wasn't into that. But literally, he also did own all the turtle toys, but he lost all the weapons. I don't know where they're in the house. Where did they go? He never took them out of the house.
Mate, this is the crazy thing. It's like I was always somebody who's like, you can literally, like, I've got a Charmander toy, right, that I got from when I went to see the Pokemon movie. It would have been like 99. And they had one of the coin, what do they call them? It's like a vending machine, but it has toys in. And
yeah.
Put the coin in, you turn the thing and a ball comes out. I have a Charmander toy, right, on that dude. It looks like I got it yesterday. It's 25 years old. I am own things and they look like they've been in a museum, Autistic. Like,
that's
I
what
look
my trainers
after my
are like.
stuff, dude. Like, I've got a pair of Jordan 5s in the box and I've worn them loads. And the amount of times, dude, I put them on and people go, oh, new shoes? Nah, mate, these are like 4 years old.
Yeah.
It happens to me a lot. Like, I am a polished sort of, I really look after my stuff. Like, I'm not a buy cheap, buy twice guy. If I buy a £3,000 gaming computer like I did, I will clean that sucker and update that sucker and really look after it. You know, I'm not in the mindset of not looking after stuff.
I wish my son was like that. But literally, I have given him pairs of Jordans where I was like, okay, I don't really use these anymore. So
you're like sending them to die, like giving them to Sid next door.
And do you know, I've had them for like 3 years in their mint condition. And then he'll have them for like 3 months and they're just shit.
Dead.
The worst thing he does is he's incapable of putting shoes on without untying the shoelaces.
No, dude, that literally puts me in a rage when I see people do that.
If you're autistic and you do this, you are evil. No, just like you are.
Oh, it literally made me feel a bit funny thinking about that. You know,
very annoying. Oh my God! Just undo your shoelaces and put your shoes on, and then do your flipping shoelaces up. And if you struggle with that, get some fucking Velcro ones. Because
Velcro's the way.
Oh, I love it.
It feels good.
But if you ever catch me wearing Velcro, just punch me in the freaking nads. I swear to God. There's nothing more that says you can't do your shoelaces up than people who have Velcro.
Sorry,
and if you can't do your shoelaces up, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not being able to do your shoelaces up. But if you can do your shoelaces up, then you should be doing your fucking shoelaces up.
I don't think my dad's had shoelaces in his shoes for like 5 years, and he's the happiest he's ever been.
Good for him. The man has zero style. I'm just saying.
Like, he's got no drip, but he loves life. Like he's got.
There's no aura from your dad.
He's like anti-swag. Bless him. But you know what? He's had the same pair of Merrill shoes for 10 years, and he loves them. Like when he found out that Crocs exist, oh my God. Like he was like, yeah.
Oh man. My God, I hate Crocs so much.
He's a Croc guy.
I will have my own style. I will have my own fashion. And then what I won't do is fall for the social media clickbait bollocks stuff. So like somebody went, oh, do you know what? I'm going to bring out a company called Bench, and then I'm going to sell things with Bench. I'm going to tell people that it's like an amazing make. Dude,
it's just all good marketing. That's all that is.
It's a seat that you have picnics on. That's what a bench is. To call an entire company, like why don't you call it Table? And people will buy it because they'll see people famous wearing it, and they go, "Oh, they're wearing it. I'm going to wear it too."
Dude,
it's like, oh my God. You are literally a sheep. You're all sheeple and you can't think.
I feel like that about like Travis Scott clothes, like his Cactus Jack brand. He's got Jordans where the tick's reversed. And when I was first getting into shoes, I was like,
they're pretty cool. I like those. And then they were £1,000-something, and I was like, they've come from the same factory as Air Force Ones you get in JD, dude.
Yeah.
And people,
It's ridiculous.
you walk around Soho, dude, in London when I used to work there, and everybody dressed the same, and it would literally be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They point at each other and go, Meh! And then they get on with their lives, and it would be like the smug, like in South Park where they're drinking the smug when they're like, like smelling their own farts. Like that's kind of what I feel like when people are copying each other with fashion. Like I love to blend stuff. I love to like put on like a pair of like Wrangler cowboy jeans with like boots, but then wear an American football t-shirt over the top. It's like that's sort of my vibe. Like that's just
it's not just clothes though. It's things. And here's a perfect example. So I was out shopping. Sylvia saw a giant mug, like a thermos-looking mug that keeps its heat because it's made out of metal on the inside.
Oh, is it like a Stanley mug or something?
Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
And it had Shaun the Sheep on. Right? It's in TK Maxx. It's for charity. It's for the Red Nose Day stuff. And I was like, I love Shaun the Sheep, love him. And it was a tenner, and I needed a mug that would keep my coffee hot because my coffee just keeps going cold. Because I have big coffees and they just keep going cold. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'll just whack that in. Literally not a clue about anything. I've just bought it because it had Shaun the Sheep on and it looked practical, right? So I've bought that. Then Sophie's come back for the weekend. And then she's gone, oh my God, Daddy, you have a Stanley Cup. And I went, no, I did not win the National Hockey League. I don't have the Stanley Cup.
That's such a autistic dad response.
That's a National Hockey League trophy. Actually. And she went, no, it's a Stanley Cup. And I went, okay, this is the Stanley. I Googled it and showed her the actual Stanley Cup. And I'm like, that's the Stanley Cup. That doesn't look anything like my cup. This is just a Shaun the Sheep mug to keep my coffee warm. And she's like, no, this is a Stanley Cup. And then she showed me a video of a woman decorating a mug and putting like, it looked like a bird feeder around it and like a little pocket. And I just went, because I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then I watched a video about the obsession with Stanley mugs. And this was from like a year ago. They're indestructible, which is bullshit, by the way. I'm not falling
they're like a
for
past
that.
trend now. You would say if trends go, we've moved on from this trend slightly, I think.
I've never heard of it. And I believe that makes me the best person ever because I don't know about this crap because it is, and it's amazing because I was watching videos of the people queuing up overnight so they could get a special edition Valentine's version of the cup that they already own 7 of.
Yeah.
And then justifying the fact that they should buy this cup because it saves the environment because they only need 1 cup. But then they have 17 of them because they collected them. And I'm like, that defeats the purpose of this very durable mug that will last a long time.
You'll never need to buy another one, but buy another one.
But I don't want to focus on just the mug, but it's just everything. It's that what you said, I need the new iPhone, but you already have the iPhone. But this one's better. And
dude.
I can't have the 6, man. I need the 7.
It'll drive you insane.
Yeah, and it's marketing genius, I have to say, is that they'll say, oh, look, the celebrity had this and the celebrity. It's just, oh my God, people, you don't need to conform because other people told you to. And I know that sounds really hypocritical considering I said I literally want to buy lots of things. But the fact is I want to buy lots of things because I want to buy them, because I made that decision that I really wanted those things because it's something I'm into. I don't believe for 1 second that people are going, oh, I really want a bench t-shirt or I really want a Stanley Cup or I really want Crocs because they want them. I think most of the time people are going, I want to buy them because other people have them.
That's what I was going to say.
And
absolutely.
That to me, I'm not having that. But it's almost like, oh, lots of other people really like that thing. I now don't like it because of that. Like I'm just
that person. Like honestly, I used to be one of those sorts of people that when I was like working in like music journalism and stuff, I would find new artists and new bands, and it'd get to like album 2, album 3, and then people would be like, "Oh my God, have you heard of this band?" Like I literally had it at work the other day. Catfish and the Bottlemen were on, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, yeah, Catfish. Do you like Catfish?" And yeah, I went to one of their album release shows and have
one of their like original print vinyls in the house. And to me, that's kind of just part of my journey. And this kid was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I was like, dude, I've seen these guys open in a room full of 40 people, and it just doesn't do it for me anymore. But it is amazing how like people covet stuff, because like, again, with Travis Scott trainers, I see people wear them and I'm like, oh, you're dying for me to come up and ask you about them. You are. I can so see that you are, and that's why you've bought them. But no, yeah, man, it's fascinating. And I am really finding the benefits of kind of just getting what I want, not because I think other people will respect me for having it. It's because I respect myself and I want it.
Yeah. And before we have one more break, just be careful with the rabbit holes that we can go down.
Yeah, debt is debt.
Try and learn to be financially responsible before you start giving in to every whim and buy every coloured lightsaber. Yeah, break time.
Oh, hot, 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 hot.
Hot topic.
News, breaking news.
Pow, pow.
Not so much breaking news.
I was going to say it wasn't breaking. No,
it's not
anything.
breaking news. No, not yet. Except
I'm fine. All my bones are fine.
Okay. So I was reading an article the other week, which has been saved in my computer for a little while, that was in the Evening Standard. This used to be a newspaper that I used to read regularly when I used to sit on the tube and disassociate between jobs. And this tagline caught my eye in its lifestyle section. Daydreaming? Social awkwardness? Has the internet diagnosed you with autism and ADHD? And the article says, well, diagnoses are spiking. So I wonder why. But some psychiatrists argue we've reached the point of overdiagnosis. How did we get here? Why is the internet making it so much worse? The idea that being diagnosed is a bad thing because we are a burden to society.
Oh, yes. We cost people too much.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
if only they figured out that we will, as we've discussed, we'll buy all of the things if we are, we're a burden on society, but we'll pay your mortgage if you sell decent shit.
We'll also invent computers and technology and sciences and medicines, and the fact that most people, are benefiting from hip surgeries and blood transfusions and God knows, there's things that autistic people invented.
We're so sorry we've done all of that for you.
Movies and music
that
autistic people made. I'm so sorry that we're literally, fucking awesome and have done really, really awesome stuff throughout history. Factually, not opinion, factually. We have absolutely contributed to some of the most amazing things this world has ever seen. But, screw us because, we're expensive. Fuck off, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So this article is it kind of is a autistic advocate and somebody that's now quite far down on their journey. I was reading this article and, a lot of the buzzwords come up. Well, everyone does that. Everyone has a little bit of daydreaming. And there was even a psychologist that was quoted, an Australian psychologist, Dr. Andrea Pickering. I will just quote, overdiagnosis carries its own risks. One of the main concerns with increasing awareness of mental health is misdiagnosis. This is a consultant clinical psychiatrist with expertise in autism diagnosis and ADHD. And they say, symptoms of conditions like ADHD or autism can easily overlap with other mental health issues, such as anxiety or depression, as well as physical health conditions. And I was reading this article by this author or journalist or whatever you want to say. And I couldn't help but feel that they were going, well, everybody does that. Everybody does that. And I wonder if she was listening to the Talking Heads while she did it and, using Microsoft Word and all of these sorts of things and going, well, everyone's a little bit like that. I would hate to tell you, lady that wrote this article, but maybe you are neurodivergent. And I hope that you aren't overdiagnosed. Sorry. Yeah, it's baffling. It really does amaze me how suddenly we're going, oh, this overdiagnosis, where is this tism come from? Oh, where has the tism come from?
Yeah, it's definitely metals in baby food, not.
Yes, and even though autism outdates vaccines and all of this sort of thing. But it makes me think of, I read this quote about a year ago, and it made me go, oh, shit, that's so true. It's like, did Everest appear out of the ground when the mountaineers turned up and went, oh, look, a mountain? Or has it always been there? And I just sometimes find the arrogance of our species in general to go, well, it doesn't exist unless I think it does. And it just kind of baffles me how some of them are going, oh, there's this overdiagnosis. Everyone's got ADHD these days. It's just wild.
Let's be honest. Factually, right? Take out humans, autism doesn't exist. Okay, if you take out the human element of we've invented this word and we've invented this word that suits these particular people, autism doesn't exist. ADHD doesn't exist. These are words that were given to our particular behaviours and nuances in order for neurotypicals to understand and separate us. Going, okay, we good, you bad. That's how it was originally. Like, this is just true. Like, you're the people that are a problem and we're going to look after you. You're very, very disabled. You're very, very incapable. And we're good.
Not what we expect. This is not normal.
Yeah, you're not normal. That's literally what autism was originally. It's like, you're not normal. You're a broken shell of a human and we're going to mold you into something better.
Yeah, this is the excuse. This is your reason as to why you aren't normal.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I will use the word autism and ADHD, but it's only because it really helps people understand what we're talking about. And I'm proud to be autistic and I'm proud to be ADHD different. And the D is for different, not disorder. It's not a disorder, it's a difference. I'm proud to be associated with those things that were put onto us. And I want to take them back. You know, these are our things, but we are neurodivergent. We diverge from the norm, and that's a good thing. It's a positive thing to bring diversity of thinking. It's pointless saying, oh, you know, you can't have autism because you haven't hit these particular markers. And it's like, well, that's because you've just got those on a piece of paper because you don't understand neurodivergence. You don't understand the alternative neurotype. You understand the predominant neurotype and you're like, well, if it doesn't fit with that, then there's something wrong with it. But you don't understand the alternative neurotype, which is what we are. All the time that the medical numpties aren't going to accept what is blatantly in their face, that it is just the synaptic pruning a million times over and over again. It's just a type of brain. It's a type of brain that is deliberately, I want to say designed, like there's some sort of creator. Its nature has diverted the way our brains are developed in order to bring an alternative neurotype for our species. It's so clear. It's not even like, oh, you have to be really smart to understand this. No, you don't. It's just clear. And some of us, it hugely disables us. And some of us, it hugely benefits us. And some of us, it does both. And it's just, we're just different people. So there are people that are going to be like, autism is bad because it might be bad for them or it might be bad for their kid. And they'll be focusing on the bad because that's all they read about.
And they're comparing themselves constantly to like neurotypicals and things like that.
Yeah, I can't do that because, you know,
Dave down the road can. And
I can't do that because I have ADHD. And it's like, yeah, but you can do this because you're autistic, and you can do that because you're an alternative neurotype. We are now living in a world that's crazy, okay? And there has never been more of a need for people to see the positives in the people that so many idiots out there are trying to stop existing. I think, articles like that and they're just damaging. But also, I do think you're right. It's that internalized ableism that we were talking about.
Every time I read an article like that, I just feel like it's like a smear campaign. You know, it's us versus them. And as somebody who is loving Kendrick Lamar at the moment, they're not like us. And we frighten people because they don't understand us. And that's all it is, you know, in a very neurotypical, blocky world where everything has to be in a box. We don't even see the fucking box. So, yeah.
There is no box.
There is no box. All right, dude. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed today's episode, and I think it's a very nice companion to the previous one where we discussed this topic. It's nice to return to things in season 2. So thank you so much for listening, guys, and joining us this week. I'm really looking forward to bringing you another new episode next Thursday, wherever you are listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Neurodivergent Experience. We hope today's episode sparked something for you, whether it's a new idea, a bit of validation, or just a moment of connection. Remember, new episodes are every week, so be sure to join us for the next one for more conversations and insights into the neurodivergent experience. If you've enjoyed this podcast, help us grow. You can do that by rating and reviewing this show. Your support makes a huge difference in helping us reach more people who could benefit from these conversations. You can connect with us on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just search for the Neurodivergent Experience. Thank you again for listening. And until next time, take care of yourself. You're not alone in this journey.